associated with the milk also. Feeding milk and milk protein, they prevent multiplication of the virus. This is the hypothesis what we get. Okay. If you go to the common respiratory disorders in childhood, in children,
Yes.
childhood period itself is very unique. Right? Ayurveda says that the whole life period can be divided into three sectors. One is Vata predominant sector, second is Pitta predominant sector, and third is Kapha predominant sector. And the childhood period is Kapha predominant sector. That is one. Second thing is, if you see the disease presentation of this COVID-19 infection or all respiratory infections, that is in the Kapha sthana. It is in the upper part of the body, Kapha sthana itself. So Kapha and Kapha, it is said in our basics that when Dosha as well as Duksha and all things go hand in hand together, that becomes difficult to manage. Okay. Kapha sthana is one thing, Kapha pradhana, vayas, age is one thing, and third thing is the diet of the children. This also most of things are Madhura Praya. Madhura Praya Kapha Vardhaka. It goes also in favor of Kapha. So altogether it makes these disease conditions are difficult as well as respiratory conditions common in children.
Yes.
The common respiratory conditions start with Pratishyaya, that is rhinorrhea, running nose, to throat infection. In between, whatever organ comes, whatever structure comes, all are included in that. Like it may be a simple rhinitis or Pratishyaya, then it may be sinusitis, it may be a tonsillitis, it may be a sore throat, it may be a pharyngitis, laryngitis, myelitis in this area. And in Ayurveda, of course, we name it as Pratishyaya, Gata, Swarabhayada, Swarabhaka, all those different terminologies are there. Whatever it is that is affecting mainly this part of the body only. And these things, when it comes to presentation, clinical presentation, you know very well, each disease has got specific as well as generalized symptoms. Coming to the management of prevention, the prevention has to be done right from the beginning. That is Nidana Parivarjana. First, you have to identify the cause, whether it is of allergic or whether it is of any specific agent in nature or not. Sometimes structural anomalies also may be a reason for this type of condition. An enlarged adenoids may be a reason. Foreign body in children is a very common thing that also can be a reason for that. Improper dietary habits can be a reason. These things are to be avoided. In breastfed baby, Nidana of the mother will be a cause. In top-fed babies, the top feeding item may be, the bottle we are using, that may be a reason, the container we are using, that may be a reason, and children, of course, everything can be a reason. Okay? You have to identify the cause, avoid the cause. Nidana Parivarjana. Second thing is, use the appropriate measures to prevention, appropriate measures to appropriate modalities of treatment to manage the condition. With these, we can again, of course, prevent the things. It is what we call it Ashaya Pavarcha Vyadhi. It goes from one stage to other to third one. It may enter into low respiratory infection or low respiratory presentations like Vata as well as Rajeshwa also if you are not taking proper care. So this is what is seen in COVID infection also. Start with the simple upper respiratory infection and then they spread downward. Of course, the later understanding is it is not only respiratory system, every organ involvement is seen in the disease condition, but generally it starts with the upper respiratory. The best way is to prevent hygiene, diet, then comes the medication. If these things are properly adopted, yes, to a major extent we can prevent it. What are the hygiene measures and other things? I think they in the next speakers list. They will evaluate it. I am not going to details of it.
Yes, sir.
I think this is right. Okay.
Sir, so for this you have very well said about the preventive aspect and pathogenesis, how pathophysiology. So, sir, how in Ayurveda we can manage respiratory disorders?
See, management actually starts with Nidana Parivarjana. First thing is identify the cause and manage it, avoid it. Okay.
Yes.
It may be a dietary, it may be habit based, or it may be environmental. It may be other factors too. This we have to avoid. And then you have to identify where the infection, where the disease manifestation is taking place, which doshas are involved. Here, invariably it is Kapha sthana. So Kapha involvement is there, and depending upon the condition, inflammatory things, Pitta involvement will be there. Chronicity as it develops, Vata involvement will take place. So basically Kaphavataja or Kaphavata with Pitta Sarga.
So, sir, nowadays in this condition, which kind of drugs we can use in Ayurveda specifically?
Okay. So coming to the drug, once you are clear that this is the pathogenesis and these are doshas involved,
Yes.
then dosha specific drugs you have to use.
Yes.
Along with the dosha specific other measures. As per the very detailed guideline issued by Ministry of Ayush, that they have also advised dosha specific as well as treatment also specific to the pathology. Okay. Now the thing is, why it is happening? If 10 children are there, all the 10 are not affected. Only 1 or 2 are affected. Even in this 1 or 2 are a small population affected, one is going to the severe condition and another is not going to severe condition. Why it is happening? If this is there, if this appearance is there, it directly indicates that post immunity plays a vital role. The very first approach in this type of disease condition should be Lakshanadharita first, based upon the doshas. You can understand this and you can select the drugs. Second thing is you have to improve the host immunity. To improve the host immunity, we have a lot of drugs. To Lakshanadharita, dosha based chikitsa, you have a lot of drugs. The beauty of Ayurveda is that both go hand in hand. Can you students, can you identify any drug without Strikatu or without Maricha or Pippali or this type of drugs in respiratory diseases?
No, sir.
Hardly you can find it. And Pippali and Maricha and Shunti, all the three Strikatu, except for Maricha, both are Rasayana. Maricha is not highlighted as Rasayana. Atraka is highlighted or Shunti is highlighted as Rasayana and Pippali of course is well known. It is very good for the respiratory. So you can select this type of drugs. But keep a caution, Prakriti of the patient or Prakriti of the child is a difficult task, but you can guess it. And second thing is Desha and Kala. These are to be considered. Now we are selecting to Ushna Tikshna Dravyas if you are using, keep a watch, it should not create Ushna related problems in the child. This is what we frequently come across. That we should take care, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Very well said by Dr. Rajagopal, sir. Thank you so much, sir. So, sir has already discussed about immunity. So, we are forwarding this topic and we are moving to the Dr. Sujata madam. Hello, madam. Madam is Professor in HOD at SPM College of Ayurveda and Hospital, Hassan. And madam has done tremendous work in the field of pediatrics. So, ma'am, for you, question is, what is the role of immunity booster in a developing immune system of a child? And
Namaste to all. I am Dr. Shailaja. I am not Dr. Sujata.
sorry.
So, okay. So, you asked that immunity booster for improving the immunity or immune system in children. First, we should know what is the status of immunity in children. So, for that, I want to quote the shloka of Bala. Tatra balam aparipakva dhatuhu ajata vyanjanam sukumaraha akleshasaha asampurna bala kleshma dhatu praya ashodasha varshat. Means mainly what is the status of immunity in children. So, when we consider the immunity or immune system, mainly the concept of Bala. So, in Bala is in Asampurna Avastha. Means it is not what we can call, it is yet to develop completely. So, it is not yet completely developed. And Aparipakva Dhatu Avastha is there. The children, their tissue is not yet completely developed. So, while discussing about immunity, the concepts like Bala, Ojas and the Prakrita Kapha, these things are main things we need to concentrate. So, as I told, in children, Aparipakva Avastha or Aparipakva Dhatu Avastha is there. So, if you consider Ojas as immunity, so Ojas is the soil of all dhatus. If the dhatus are in Aparipakva Dhatu Avastha, then definitely Ojas or immune system is in Aparipakvata Avastha only. Means it is in development state only. And if you consider it as Bala, so Asamparipurna Bala or what you can asampurna bala. That is also as incompletely developed immune system. So to improve the immune system, what you asked question is immunity boosters. For that also Ayurveda in Charaka Sharira very nicely explained. Bala Vradhi Karabhavas. So Bala Vradhi Karabhavas are for the purpose of immunity or developing immunity. So that is mainly what we need to consider in children. So if you consider initial parts of Balavradhi Karabhavas. Balavradhi Karabhavas means initial part is Balavat Purushe Deshe Janma, Balavat Purushe Kale Janma, Sukascha Kalaha, these are things, and Bija Kshetra Sampascha. So these things are for mainly to develop or to have better immunity in child. These things need to be adopted before the birth of the baby. So Balavat Purushe Deshe Janma. So baby, if it is born in place where the immunity is strong. Mainly the example is given as Saindava Pradesha. There, if the baby is born, then its immunity is good. Same way, the Kala is also like that only it is discussed. And Sukashta Kala means when the baby is delivered, that time the time should be good. Hemanta Shishura Ritu, not Hemant sir. Hemanta Shishura Ritu, if the baby is born, it is the baby will be with the good strength. So that way, the before delivery the factors are there, and after delivery, how we can improve the immunity of the child, that is through Ahara Saustava or Ahara Sampat, the factor which is influencing the improvement of immunity booster is Ahara. That Ahara should be of Sampat Ahara. So that should be very nutritious. That should have micronutrients in it and all required nutrition in it. So Ayurveda says that Sarva Rasa Ahara Sevana and Hitakara Ahara Sevana, that will be always helping in improving the immunity. So that thing we need to consider. And next comes the Sharira Sampacha. Nowadays the people are very much fond of Sharira Sampacha. For making Sharira Sampacha, that is sound body. Lot of things are the people are doing, not the children, but young adults, many adolescents and all. They are going for gym and excessively they exercise. That is not the thing. We need to have a perfect body, sound body, not the excessive the body which is made by excessive exercise. Proper exercise is required. And once again, exercise is also one of the factors which improves the immunity of the person. So, Ahara Sampacha, Sharira Sampacha, Sattva Sampacha. Another thing is Sattva Sampacha. Sattva Sampacha means the very good willpower or sound mind. That is also very much important, not only in child, even in the adults also. So, main thing is for many diseases, psychological disease or even psychosomatic disorder. There, the Alpa Sattvasya, the diseases are occurring to the Alpa Sattvasya. That way it is mentioned. So, Sattva Sampat is also very much important to develop proper Sattva. Sattvika Ahara is very much important. Nowadays, if you see, the children are liking Rajasika and Tamasika food. For example, Rajasika food means they like the street food, they like junk food, they like carbonated food. Those all things mainly, they are not the Sattvika food. They are the Rajasika food or Tamasika food, which will be not helping, they are not the immune boosters. Instead, they are the, what we can call, they support immunity. So, and that way we have to take care in the Sattva Sampacha. Then comes the Karmacha. So, karma is exercise. I was telling, nowadays the people are with the this one exercise, excessive gym and all. That is not required. So proper exercise is very much important. And when we consider proper exercise, nowadays the school actually in schools and all, the playgrounds are not there. There is no place for playground. So the children are not going for the exercise and all. So sedentary lifestyle is becoming a major problem, which is suppressing the immunity of the child. Another factor which comes under the this one, the Balabradikara Babas, that is Sauharshya. That is the children need to be always happy. That way we need to make the circumstance. And it is discussed that the physical activity or family physical activity or family play that is important in this COVID condition. That the children and adults together, means parents or family members together, needs to be played. Maybe the play this tennis etc. can be played, or otherwise simple plays like hide and seek or such type of plays also. The exercise also happens and some action is also happening. So these all things are immunity boosters that will be helping in improving the immunity of the child. That all things should be taken care.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Very well explained. Now we are going towards the session. So next question is for Dr. Dinesh KS. That is, what dietary advice can be helpful in present scenario? For as we are talking, whenever we have talked about Ayurveda, so we primarily focus on prevention more. So among that, here is a major topic. What we can do. So which kind of dietary advice can be given and which should be avoided in diet?
Namaste. Actually, I am given 5 minutes.
Yes, sir.
From a project to prevent the recurrent upper respiratory tract infection in children funded by Department of Fire, Central Government Department of Fire. I am running that project among right now we have recruited about 500 children. We are adopting the very same methodologies what all the great scholars mentioned. I can abbreviate into 4. This is very well mentioned in one of the modern books. The book's name is Biology of Belief, written by a cell-biologist, Bruce Lipton. Only 4 things have to be managed. Number 1, the thought process. Number 2, the environment. Number 3, the day-to-day activities. Number 4, food. Out of which your question is pertaining to the food. If you are looking into the clinical experiences of the COVID from different countries, unfortunately I am not authorized to treat the COVID cases in Kerala by law, but we are getting a lot of cases from the countries outside India. Almost all the symptoms related to the COVID are either more Kapha symptoms or they are more Pitika symptoms. Those who are having the Pitika symptoms, they are going to the ICU and ventilator, unfortunately to the pneumonia cases. So we should be very careful while selecting the food which should not be Pitta Vardaka as well as which should not be Kapha Vardaka at all. At the same time, it should improve the immunity. So we need Kapha dosha for improving immunity. At the same time, it should not create any morbid Kapha doshas. Right? For that, Legu Sandarpanam is the quality, the guna of the choice to be selected. It should not be Tishna and Ukshna. So we are selecting a list of, we are giving these children also a list of food items which are Pitta Vardaka in common practice in Kerala, like sambar, rasam, pickles, and all the non-veg items which is most prevalent in Kerala. And unfortunately, in our country, all the non-veg items are highly spicy in nature. And it should not be Kabavartaka as well. But at the same time, Kabavartaka can be given, but it should not be Guru in nature. So avoid the chocolates, avoid all the bakery items, and all other toffees, ice creams, all such items. Instead, we are giving a list of food items which can be consumed indiscriminately, like our green gram and all other vegetables. All other vegetables, especially it should have a special affinity towards the Pranaha Srotas and Reservoir Srotas, so that it should not create any sort of respiratory issues like Solanaceae family members, all items like brinjals. It has to be enhanced. And in addition to that, we are customizing the drinking water. The drinking water has to be Pitta Samana, it should not be Kapavartaka. We are here in Kerala, we have a habit of taking the medicated water. So we are customizing three items we are giving for the boiled water in order to avoid this hesitancy too. In one day it will be Ardagam, the next day it will be Dhanyaga, and the third day it will be Tulsi. So these are the three items we are prescribing for drinking water. There are certain conditions in which we can see a lot of Pitta-Vata cases like skin diseases and atopy and all other allergic rhinitis which is going towards the Retta-Pradoshtha Vikaras. In such cases, we are giving the Shariba. These are the main 4 drugs which are giving as drinking water. At the same time, we are very particular regarding the diet rules rather than selecting the diets, because the sleep and diet should be in a gap of at least 1.5 hours, and there should not be an immediate play after food, and there should be as madam told, all other food items like together we should take the food and it should not be too heavy. So only fresh food items are allowed on there should not be any refrigerated food. So overcooking, all this should be customized. We are having a leaflet, we are giving it to the project candidates as well as to those who are seeking the dietary advices for COVID prevention too, because a lot of NRI people who are living abroad, especially in the Middle East, they are suffering in the nearby room, in the house itself. A lot of COVID patients are there, so they are highly worried about their immunity. Immunity boosting, that terminology, exactly speaking, medically it is wrong. But immunity stabilizers are the good ones, because the boosting immunity is a challenging terminology. So these are the dietary advices what we are following in not only in the COVID cases, but generally to prevent the respiratory tract infections. And I know Dr. Rajagopal sir, he is my guru. And in our Jamnagar days, they have list of soda, kulfi, chocolate, all these items. We are repeatedly saying that it should be avoided to prevent recurrent respiratory tract infection. Hope 5 minutes over.
Yes, sir. So next question for you, sir. In present scenario, hygiene is a bigger problem. So we say it is said that this all issue is because of not maintaining proper hygiene. So in this case, what Ayurveda can help for better hygiene condition?
Questions to me?
Yes, sir. What specific Ayurveda guidelines can be approached for the hygiene?
See, hygiene, specifically speaking, hygiene has no pathis, no allopathy, no Ayurveda.
Yes,
hygiene, whatever the measures advised by any stream, that has to be followed. We usually, Breaking the Chain is a campaign in Kerala, and we are doing all these sanitizers, and of course there are herbal sanitizers also coming, but invariably it should be, it should contain the glycerin part or ethanol part, all those are there, but herbal hygiene materials are also available, and all other, especially in Kerala there is a usual custom, previously it was present, that whenever you are coming inside the house from outside, you should have a bath. Right now, it is re-implemented in the scenario of this COVID. Even myself, after finishing this clinic, if I am going to my house, the outside bathroom will be there, and I will take a bath only. After that, I will get into the house. Such all hygienic measures which are prescribed till date has to be adopted.
Okay, sir. So, sir, any specific measurement for in Ayurveda, such as Dhupan Karma, we have already described in our Sanhita. So, sir, can you little bit elaborate about Dhupan Karma?
Of course, we are advising the Dhupan Karma by using 3 drugs. Number 1 is Haridra, number 2 is Tulasi, and number 3 is Google. So these 3 has to be made into, you can fumigate all the rooms, and you can have the bath with a neem leaf or the Chirivrisha Kwada. These are the 2 items we are prescribing for the bath. And Dhupan Karma, of course, it has to be continued.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. It is very well explained. Now, till now we have discussed about preventive approach and pathophysiology about regarding COVID-19 in children. So now we have Dr. Mehul Patel, sir, consultant pediatrician and neonatologist, and he is also working in ICU from a long time. So, sir, next question is for you, sir. How to suspect and manage COVID-19 patient in pediatric hospital setup?
Namaste and good afternoon. Thank you for inviting me in Ayurvedic this webinar organized by Parul University. My question is to how to suspect in modern medicine regarding the pediatric COVID-19 patient. Can you hear me? Excuse me. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, see, the thing is that pediatric patient presentations and the ratio according to the adult age group is very less. Till date, whatever the data is there all over the world, pediatric patients regarding age 1 to 10 and 10 to 16 or 18, whatever the age is there, are very less in number. The presentation and the reporting rate is very low, and that is very fortunate in pediatric case.
Yes.
Number 1, most of the pediatric respiratory diseases, like most of you are having this respiratory illness, especially the adenovirus illness, respiratory sensitive viral disease, influenza, flu virus illness. Seasonal illnesses are very much common in pediatric age group, as well as the bacterial infections like H. influenza type B, as well as this conjugated this pneumococcal streptococcal pneumonia infection. Those who are not receiving the vaccine, these are more common presentation in pediatric age group. Now the question is how to differentiate these 2 things. Whether the respiratory symptoms are from this respiratory other than the COVID viral infection, bacterial infection, or it might be a COVID-19 infection. Most of the pediatric patients presenting with high-grade fever, or there is no fever because the immunity is very low, so the localizing signs are not there. Second most important thing is cough, coryza, right, rhinorrhea, and sometimes the viral infection may be present as a diarrhea as well as vomiting also. They are having fatigue, increased rate of respiration, difficulty in breathing, and sometimes they are also coming with this hypoxia, happy hypoxia, as the sun says. So now the condition is how to differentiate these 2 patients in advanced or modern medicine. This is the main concern. Up till date, whatever the data show regarding from China, US, and Britain, asymptomatic patients are more as the adults. Out of 100 patients, 50 to 55% patients are present with the respiratory illness. 1 to 2% patients are present with the GI symptoms, mostly diarrhea, vomiting, abdominal pain, and other patients are coming with other systemic disorder, which is a part of it. Recent data shows that it is the presentation of this COVID-19 in pediatric is like same as the Kawasaki disease. Fever with rash and the patient become hyperthermic. Okay. So most important investigations, first of all the symptoms. Symptoms will remain same in whatever the condition is there. Might be a COVID-19 or other respiratory or other systemic disorder. Second is the investigations. So in investigation wise, we have to go with the routine blood count, and it shows most probably the normal lymphocytes count or lymphopenia. Lymphopenia means decreasing in the lymphocytes count. This is suspicious of the viral infection. Second important test is the X-ray test. X-ray test shows sometimes a developing pneumonia, or there might be patient is critical and the fluoride, this COVID-19 or whatever the respiratory infection is there, acute severe fluoride, this ground glass appearance in the X-ray. So it might be a developing pneumonia, it might be a ground glass opacity, both sides or unilateral in the X-ray. This is the second most one. We are going with the CT scan also. CT scan ground glass and fluoride pneumonia. Third thing and most important thing is this PCR test, RT-PCR test. So this is the mainstay of the investigation. So we usually go with the test also. So symptoms, second is the CT or X-ray. In CBC there is a lymphopenia or decreasing this lymphocyte or neutrophil counts. And fourth thing is most important thing is the history of traveling. Means if the patient had traveled in past or history of active response. This is important. So these 5 strategies we are using at present for the detecting and suspicion of the COVID-19 patient.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Second important thing is highly suspicious child in the OPD cases. Like if you are sitting in the OPD and the patient are asking, mother, father is asking you that, sir, tell me, isko kuch hai to nahi na? Then you can say it might be an infection, most probably a routine infection is there, or it might be a COVID-19 infection. But you have to monitor the patient routinely, whether the symptoms and signs are worsening gradually, if the X-rays, previous X-rays like this, and the next X-rays like this. So if it is worsening, then we can suspect that this might be a COVID infection. So most of it, nothing with this COVID infection. It is like such a routine viral infection, and we can do such routine investigation and differentiate the COVID-19 patient from the other systemic disorder as well as the respiratory disorders.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Newer antibody test is there. It shows the IgM and IgG antibodies in the blood of the patient, but it is not very. The specificity and sensitivity of the previous RA-PCR is highly specific and highly sensitive, around 99%. So false positive reports are not there in the RA-PCR, but in a newer antibody test, it shows the antibody IgM and IgG, but it is like a simple VIDA. Case, it might be a false positive, and it is useful for general screening, but not for the specific. It's all about the suspicious and the investigation of the COVID-19 patient, pediatric patient, especially in the hospital setup as well as the OPD setup.
Yes, sir. Sir, as we know that usually COVID-19 patients require intensive care treatment, and as there is some difference in adult protocol and pediatric protocol, so how we can manage pediatric patient into the ICU? What can be the approach?
In hospital setup as well as in the ICU setup, or those who are indoor patients, we are having a generalized protocol. See, there is no specific treatment for the COVID-19 pediatric as well as adult patient. Whatever we are giving, we are giving the symptomatic treatment, and the study shows that this medicine is effective. Like at present, there is azithromycin and this this hydroxychloroquine is going on. Some antiviral anti-cancer drugs are also we are using. But for pediatric protocol, we have differentiated this patient in a 3 age groups. Number 1 is those who are asymptomatic, means there is no symptoms in the pediatric age group, but there is a travel history of the patient or the pediatric patient in the context of active disease of COVID. So asymptomatic patient, travel history is positive, right? And there is this active disease is going on, but patient is asymptomatic. There is nothing in the patient is playful, taking diet orally. So we can manage this patient in home quarantine with the supervision of the parents or in a healthcare person. This is the first. Second.
Yes, sir. Okay, thank you so much. It is very well explained. Now we have some questions from our student viewers. So, sir, first question is for you, Dr. Raj Gopal, sir. Sir, as today we can say it is 53rd day of lockdown, and we also feel that we need to go out, and we also feel sometimes irritated. So, this is what we are talking about children. So, in that we may found some psychological issues. So, how to address the psychological issue of children, especially pre and school-going children?
Thank you. This is a very pertaining question to the situation.
Yes.
Actually, the psychological issues of children as well as adults, these were less addressed in the beginning days, but later on they found the importance of this particular issue, and they started addressing it. In a COVID care center, it is a must to have a psychologist and psychotherapist also. It's a must now in a COVID care center. Now coming to children, children who are able to move here and there, who have the taste of going out, they know what is play outside, they know what is a park and what is a market. For them, it is bit difficult to manage in this situation. Staying at home, putting them at one place will be very difficult. The one thing which Shailaja Madam was talking about Sattva, Bala and other things, and at that time she told, family should act together. We should have family together and educate your children. What is the position? What is the? You can use the help of stories. You can use the help of whatever the language in which they understand. Okay. The first thing is to educate them. Tell them what is COVID virus infection, why we are not allowed to go out, or what is the importance of social distancing. Once it is, we see, children are very unique nature. Once they understand things, they follow it very strictly. So first, educate them. Second, give them assurance that if you follow these things, you should follow the good social hygiene, good eating practice, good daily lifestyle. You will be away from, or you can prevent yourself from the disease, this particular infection. Third thing is engage them. The engaging children can be in terms of play, can be in terms of engaging them in household activities. A mother can ask the child to help her in cooking, like not major cooking activities, but cleaning the vegetables, cutting the vegetables. If child is a bit elderly, can use the knife properly. You can ask them to arrange the vessels. You can ask them to arrange things in the house. You can engage them. So the three things very important. First is educate them. Second thing is assure them, assurance, and third thing is engage them. Unnecessarily engaging them in the TV or the media, digital media, it should be restricted because we don't know how long it will take place, how long this activity is required. These are all habit forming things. These things are to be kept away, and all those age specific toys, specific to the age. Then educative activities are there. Put them into those things. Indoor activity, plenty of indoor activities are there. The best thing is yogasana, yoga practice. You can involve children. You do yoga, along with that you enjoy teach the child also to do the yoga. The child definitely will enjoy this. I have seen lot of such things. They teach yoga along with, they do the yoga parents and the child also follow them. These things, with these you can divert them and you can engage them. So with this, the psychological problems or psychological issues can be addressed. Now the question comes on, a very major issue is how to address psychological issues of special children, particularly mentally retarded or children maybe of autistic features. That becomes a bit difficult, where parents require proper counseling and training from trained critical personnel. They have to be engaged appropriately or correctly. Otherwise, it will create a problem. But in normal preschool children, engage them in activities, engage them in the household work, engage them, assure them, educate them. These are the three things. With this, we can definitely do what I think.
Thank you very much, sir. I think Shailaja Madam is not with us. So, next question is from viewers to Dr. Dinesh K.S. sir. What are the alternative suggestions for procedure-based therapy for children with different abilities?
See, we have one center especially for this differential able children. Due to this lockdown, it is shut down for 21 days. And after that, it has reopened right now with all the rules and regulations of social distancing and breaking the chain. During this 21 days time, we had the hard time what we have ever seen in our history, because almost all the children had increased hyperactivity.
Yes.
And almost all the physiotherapy needed children had increased their spasticity. At the same time, we had a lot of issues from the parental concerns for stopping this treatment and everything. So through online media, we taught the parents how to do 10 procedures of Ayurveda. Number 1 is Mukhalepam by Kalyanavaleha Churnam. Number 2, Shiro Pichu. Number 3, the Shiro Lepam. How to make the Swarna Prasham, Dhuvanam. Such 10 minor procedures we taught through online, through the web, through the WhatsApp online media. And after that, every day, whatever be the problems reported by the parents, we just say them that you do Piju with Vadashini Styla. Fortunately, all the medical shops are open here, so they will procure this and they will do this procedure for 1 or 2 days, and daily contacts were maintained. In addition to that, our psychologists, we have 3 clinical psychologists in our department, and all these 3 psychologists were used to send them at least 1 or 2 psychological games. Of all these are group games, of which number 1 character will be coronavirus. One child will turn to coronavirus, and all other children will be engaged to these games and other physical games also. Even minimal OT, occupational therapy techniques like coin techniques and piggy bank techniques and the beading techniques, all those were taught to the parents every day, one activity. So they were all engaged. Along with that, we advised the medication for the hyperactivity.
Okay, thank you so much.
I want to add something.
Sure, ma'am.
So some other activities like even the music, singing songs, and dancing and painting. Those all activities also we can involve the children with family, maybe mother and we are observing lot of videos, mother and her girl, her daughter together dancing like that. In such activities also we can make the child to involve.
Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. It is very well explained. So, ma'am, next question is for you. As in Ayurvedic practice, Ayurvedic pediatric practice, nowadays a very highlighted topic we can say Swarna Prashana. So,
Yes.
ma'am, can Swarna Prashana be helpful in COVID-19 situation?
Swarna Prashana may be helpful because we don't know the trials are not done. So that is why clinical trials are not done. We cannot say that surely that Swarna Prashana is 100% helping. But definitely there is a role of Swarna Prashana. So as Swarna Prashana is helping in improving the immunity of child and even in person also. So mainly Swarna Bhasma we use for Swarna Prashana. So in Kashyapa Samhita, while explaining Swarna Prashana, it is told that if the Swarna Prashana is done daily, that will be helping. Swarna Prashana, if it is done for 1 month, Masat Parama Medhavi, Vyadhirpir Nachadrashyate. So the child will become excellent or very intelligent. Along with that, Vyadhirpir Nachadrashyate. Diseases will be not affecting the child. So, Swarna Prashana, if the diseases are not affecting or the infections are not attacking, definitely COVID-like conditions are also may not be affecting. But clinical trials are not done. That is why we cannot say that 100% the Swarna Prashana is helping. So trials may be done for that. So, and we know for mainly the corona is respiratory one. So in respiratory, management of respiratory, Swarna Prashna is having a very good role. So Vasanta Kusmakara mainly in case of Prameha it is given so to improve the immunity there, and Kumara Kalyana Rasa is there to improve the immunity of child. So these are all with the Swarna Basma only. So Swarna Prashna is definitely helping to improve the immunity of children. So I cannot say that the 100% without clinical trial it is difficult to say. So once again, the mass Swarna Prashna, whether we are able to do the practice of Pushya Nakshatra Swarna Prashna. So that one we should not advise, because we need to maintain we should not make a what you can say, we need to social distance, these all things needs to be maintained. So mass Swarna Prashna we cannot advise. Instead, we can advise the daily practice of Swarna Prashna. So which is advised by Kashyapa Masad, Paramamedhavi Masad, Yadirdirna Chadrashyate, those things. And even the Swarna Prashna is for Ayushyam Mangalam Punyam, Brashyam Grahapaham. Grahapaham is also says the same thing. Bhutabhishanga. So such type of this corona or COVID-19 is compared with Bhutabhishanga. Bhutabhishanga is one way Graha only. So for Grahapaham, Swarna Prashna is told. So maybe Swarna Prashna is helping in cases, means preventing the corona or COVID-19.
Thank you, ma'am. Very well said. Now, next question is for Dr. Mehul Patel, sir. Sir, what can be the future challenges in the management of pediatric patients in present scenario and in vaccination schedule, as it might be delayed? So, what can be the future challenges?
The thing is that, frankly speaking, whatever the pathies, as sir said, we used to fight to defeat the COVID-19. Okay? As Madam says, there are lots of things with the Chavanpras. Even we are taking also the Kadas in the morning. So nowadays we have some basis on vaccines. Like the vaccine is under clinical trial. So whatever the previous experience for the vaccine for para-influenza, influenza or H1N1 is there, so it was taken time for at least 5 weeks. Because it should gone through under so many clinical trials for animals as well as in the people also. So it is under clinical trial, so it will take time. Till the vaccine develop, we have to take our basic precautions in the form of diet, in the form of the Ayurvedic medicine, homeopathic medicine, social distancing.
So one thing, so delayed vaccination.
Yes, sir.
So
yeah, madam. It will take time because it will not come out. Because see, at present the vaccine.
People are worried about delayed vaccination.
Yes, sir.
People are worried about the delayed vaccination.
Yes.
It will take time, madam, because lots of trials are under clinical trial. No one can give a vaccine.
Delayed vaccination in the sense, routine vaccination during lockdown period, it is not happened.
We used to start our routine vaccination in all the pediatric age groups, like those which are requiring according to the age. At present, if the patient is less than 1 year, basic 3 vaccines in the form of the DPT, even OPV, as well as H influenza B, pneumococcal conjugate vaccine, rotavirus vaccine. We used to give all the vaccines. Even at the age of 9 to 10 months, we used to give MMR as well as typhoid vaccine. And influenza, swine flu vaccine at the age of 6 months plus 2 doses. The routine vaccination is going on.
Dr. Mehul, I have a question. Right? Dr. Mehul, actually, there are certain vaccines which give rise to mild rise of body temperature, like DPT. Okay, when you're given so in this particular situation of COVID infection, whether it is indicated or we have to delay it.
Yes, sir. We are having this painless vaccine in the form of a cellular pertussis vaccine. Most of the DPT vaccine contains cellular pertussis vaccine, which is responsible for the high-grade fever and pain.
Yeah.
So we are having nowadays this Exazim and Infanrix Exa, which is having a cellular pertussis vaccine, and there is no fever, no pain, or even less fever, less pain. Child is not irritable. So it is indicated.
It can be. Okay.
Even cellular vaccine we can also give. Right, and we can give paracetamol afterwards, so 2 or 3 times per day, so patient will not suffering from fever and pain.
Okay, sir.
This is regarding vaccination. We have started 1 month or 1.5 months back with all the vaccination because see, it is required and it is less than 5 years of age, must for the all the pediatric age group.
Yes, sir. Okay, thank you, sir. Sir, we have some more questions. We are a bit extending our session. Few 4-5 more questions are there. So, sir, next question is for Dr. Raj Gopalan, sir. Sir, some study shows that COVID-19 leads to Kawasaki disease in children. So, what is the Ayurvedic perspective?
With regards to the COVID is a new disease and understanding of the disease is now of course in last November onwards we are exposed to initially it was a China Wuhan virus and all and ultimately we have come to this and the presentation of COVID infection particularly this is an RNA virus which is changing its appearance based on different hosts. That is what we are seeing. So in this condition there was an observation that it can turn into Kawasaki disease or Kawasaki presentation. If it is there, we have to treat accordingly. What I feel is, if we approach our Rasayana therapy, if we treat with Rasayana, see, every disease when we are treating with like whatever Lakshanas are there, based upon that, Lakshanas are that the treatment is given. Once the clinical symptoms disappear, we are supposed to give a supportive therapy with Rasayana drugs. This is the beauty of Ayurveda. The drugs like Indukanta Grita is a Rasayana and on the other hand it is a Jwaragna also. These type of drugs are to be given. Probably the chances of turning into Kawasaki will be less and even if it turns, it can be managed. So I don't have direct first-hand information about as Dr. Dinesh and all team we are talking. We have not treated COVID cases. All these things are based upon our reading and journal publication.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Sir, next question is for Dr. Dinesh, sir. Sir, as we have in pediatric cases, we have different marka and according to treatment protocol differs from the adult protocol in pediatrics. So, sir, is there any changes? Is there any treatment aspect changes in COVID-19 in children between 12 to 16 years of age, that is adolescent age?
See, actually, I didn't get any pediatric case,
Yes,
but
sir.
they are susceptible to get the COVID only.
Yes,
But
sir.
in adult case, as Dr. Rajagopal sir told, in autopsy findings also from the Italy, it is shown that the vasculitis is one of the major complications which is creating the death. So the Kawasaki or disseminated intravascular coagulopathy, all these are the major concerns for the mortality. All these are actually, it is correlatable to the Raktapitta Samprapti in Ayurveda. So we should have Jwarahara at the same time Raktapitta drugs. So I am using the Guduchari Kvada tablets for them and the Sudarsana tablets and one Gobi Chandrandi tablet which is from the Kerala formulation. These are the 3 medicines which I am using both in adults as well as children to prevent the Paitika complications. In children, of course, the dose is very minimal because all we know the Gobi Chandrandi is the best option for children rather than Guduchari. And Sudarsana tablet is also somewhat okay, but Guduchari tablet is mostly I am prescribing to the adults. So these are the different varieties or the spectrum which can prevent the further pitta vitiation so as to end in disseminated intravascular coagulopathy or Kawasaki-like symptoms.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Sir, next question is for Dr. Mehul, sir. Sir, in present scenario, even we found that in pregnancy, pregnant women who are going to the labor, they are also affected with COVID-19. So, what can be the effect on their children, on that infant?
This is a kind of viral infection. See, in a pregnancy, if the mother is suffering from the age of embryogenesis, like first organogenesis, not age of embryogenesis, organogenesis, first 3 months of the conceptions, after conceptions. So there are high chances that the viral, whatever, like torch tiger is very much common. Torch infection is very much. So especially if there is a congenital rubella syndrome is there, even torch infections are there. A patient who is delivered after, means neonate who is delivered after birth, they are suffering from the congenital viral syndromes. But in these cases, there are chances that if the mother is delivered, baby is delivered after some months of, if the mother is infected. So there are no study at present that baby is having like these symptoms, congenital COVID syndrome. At present, there is no study, but we can take care of if the mother is, and some data are showing that there is a no teratogenic effect if the mother is positive and the baby is also positive, but there is a no teratogenicity. Like studies are not there, but some data is showing that there is no teratogenicity effect.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Ma'am, next question is for you. Ma'am, you have just discussed about music. So, ma'am, is there any goal of music to improve immunity?
So I don't know exactly any school of Carnatic music or Hindustani music that is helping for improve the immunity. So I think all these musics will be definitely helping in improving the immunity as they are Satvika. And I want to add other than this music angle, Abhyanga. So Abhyanga for all children, if we do, that will be helping because mainly the skin is the outer layer of the body which prevents us or protects from this droplet, this one and all. So Abhyanga, if we do the Abhyanga with oil, will be helping to make a layer over the body. That is one thing. And Abhyanga is also helping in improving the circulation. So Abhyanga will help improve the immunity. One thing we can advise the parents to do Abhyanga for the children before going for bath. And bath as already our Dinesh sir told, bath can be given with the Nimbapatra Kashaya or with the Kshiri Vraksha Kashaya. It's also may be helpful. And Pratimarshanasya is another thing. Mainly these are all respiratory, no? So entry is through nose. So if we are taking care of the entry point, that is nose, we do Pratimarshanasya. So that will be helping. So mainly with the Anutaila we can advise the Pratimarshanasya, or otherwise with the simple ghee or simple Tilathaila, that is sesame oil, or with the coconut oil, Narikela Taila, Nasya, Pratimarshanasya, and putting 2 to 3 drops of these oils or ghee into the nostrils, that is also helping. And Gandusha or oil pulling. So Gandusha with the neem leaf decoction or Khadira Kashaya or the oils, maybe the Tilathaila, oil or with the coconut oil. The Gandusha is also helping. That is also another entry point. So that way, these are all the measures which will be helping in prevention of the corona.
Thank you very much, ma'am. So it is also well explained. So now,
and one thing I want to add: Haritaki, use of Haritaki also may be one best rasayana for children. As Haritaki is said to be best in children, Yasya Mata Grahe Nasti Tasya Mata Haritaki. So Haritaki as a rasayana that is given in maybe Haritaki Churna or the Haritaki Lekha, Haritaki Kanda is there. So if that is given, that is also helping in improving the immunity, mainly respiratory immunity.
thank you so much, ma'am. So in this
Dr. Modi, 1 minute. Madam was explaining about preventing the entry of pathogens. Okay.
Yes.
And do oral route, nasal route, and another route is through the eyes.
Yes. Yes.
So these 3 areas, if we protect with the help of Gandusha, Nasya, or application of oil to the nostril, it can be any oil, medicated or edible oil, or you can use ghee also. And another thing is application of oil to the eyes or Anjana. Anjana application, like an application rod, hygiene, many things come in play. So instead of that, if you just apply simple coconut oil to the eyelids, it also will help in preventing pathogen, and that will be a good practice. Of course, only thing is eyelid application or nasal application, hygiene is important. Seal in hand. This is very important in this. I would just want to add.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. So, in this session, we have already discussed about a preventive aspect as well as management aspect of COVID-19 pediatric patient. So, it's been an extreme honor to be here with you all dignitaries, Dr. Rajgopala and sir, Dr. Shailaja Madam, Dr. Dinesh K.S. sir, and Dr. Mehul Patel sir. So it's a pleasure to talking with a particular panel with and listening such a erudite people. So I assume that our all students and all viewers have a great experience. So now I would like to invite dignitaries for 30-second closer remarks. So first, I would like to invite Dr. Rajgopala S. sir.
Thank you very much. The closing remark is this, that we have to follow whatever guidelines given by any health authority, because health authorities are giving guidelines following the observations made worldwide. Along with that, let us encourage our children to maintain social distance, wear masks for the preventive purpose, wash hands repeatedly. Any soap, it is not required that you have to have a sanitizer. You can have any soap, but a good hand wash. Hand wash practice should be as per standard. That is, you have to clean the knuckles, you have to clean the nails, you have to clean the hand, and then go to the back of the hand. This should be practiced very well. Use of certain items like ginger, children generally don't agree with this or don't take this. Use of the golden milk or turmeric with milk. Use of clove, black pepper, long pepper, coriander, cumin, fenugreek in the diet. That is Indian spices in the diet. Encourage our children to enjoy the Indian diet. Satvika ahara metabolically, yes, definitely. The vegetables, particularly the cucurbitaceae, cotton gourd, patola, pointed gourd, this type of vegetables, they are very good for the stomach as well as they are very good for this particular time period. These things, let us teach our children, let us encourage our children to follow this and prevent the disease. Let us enhance the only measure as of now is to improve our host immunity, because we don't know when the vaccine comes. RNA virus, when it changes its shape, presentation, whether the vaccine coming is effective in that particular type, we are not aware of. So the best way is prevent. And I advise, or I give my take home message to all is advise the preventive and health promotive measures of Ayurveda. I think this is it.
Thank you so much, sir. Now moving to the Dr. Dinesh K.S. sir. Please give your closing remarks.
See, as such today, there is no evidence based to treat the COVID-19 infection. Only the hypothetical treatments are going on everywhere in the planet. So, the very same hypothetical treatments from the traditional medicine should also be incorporated to fight against this pandemic, number one. Number two, today the number of world trial towards this COVID issue, if you are looking into the registry, only 9 trials were registered from India, whereas if you look into the China, it's around 386. This is very poor, and the government should take sufficient initiative to make more evidence from all the traditional system as well as from the conventional system to make good evidence base regarding all these practices. And finally, the last third point is, rather than the preventing, the latest, according to the latest guidelines from the WHO, the COVID is not going to become with the herd immunity concept. So rather than the prevention, better how to live with the COVID without any problem. This has to be taken care of in further discussions by improving immunity, of course, no doubt. So by this, I am thanking you and thanks to the Bharat University, all the faculties for giving me this wonderful chance. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Now, next, ma'am, I would like to invite Dr. Shailaja, madam, for giving closer remarks.
First of all, I want to congratulate the Parvi University and all the faculties, and mainly Maudi and Dr. Biji Kulkarni sir, Dr. Hemant Toshikhane, and all for organizing such programs. And this is a very good program which will be helping a lot of parents how they can go ahead with the pediatric age group, health of pediatric age, their kids. And in this remark, I want to convey that Swarna Prashana may be one good preventive or promotive aspect for the even many other, along with that even Corona also. So practice of Swarna Prashana may not be as such as Pushya Nakshatra Swarna Prashana. Regular practice, daily practice of Swarna Prashana, maybe Kumara Kalyan Rasa or Swarna Basma with other churnas like Ashwagandha or Esti Madhu Churna, mixing with that in appropriate quantity, what it is required for according to the age of the child, administration of that that can be practiced. And other than that, with all Ayurveda Rasayanas like Ashwagandha Rasayana maybe or Indu Kantam Grata, what it is told by Rajgopal sir, or Kushmanda Rasayana, which is very tasty and also helping a lot in improving the respiratory immunity, or Haritaki Kanda, Agastya Haritaki, like that list of Rasayanas are there in Ayurveda, which can be helping a lot to prevent, maybe preventing and also promoting not only for Corona. So lockdown is there, so let the kids be become stronger to build up the strong nation. So not only for Corona, to improve their immunity and let the all children be healthy with the healthy practices like music and dance, yoga, many such things, painting, or many arts are there in India. So those all things, let it be exhibited properly during this lockdown period. So let it be a very good time for exhibiting those all activities or whatever the talents within children. This will be a become platform. So that way, let us spread such things in the society. So thank you all for giving us opportunity.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Mehul Patel, sir, for closing remarks.
I want to say only 3 sentences. Number 1 is, body achieves what you are. Right? You have to be strong from your inner side. Number 2 is everybody, each and every patient, like it may be a pediatric patient or it may be a geriatric or it may be an adult patient. There is a natural living process in all of the patients. And third thing is that don't fear with the disease. We have to live with Corona. Whatever the disease is there, we have to live with social distancing and precautionary measures is there. And that's all.
Okay, thank you so much. Now, I would like to thank each and every one of you for taking out of time and join with us and have such a nice discussion and such a nice session. Now, it seems that our viewers has also enjoyed a lot and they also get enlightened with knowledge. As we have not viewers not from only Ayurveda faculty, but other faculties, other parents has also joined for our session, and we are getting wonderful remarks from them. So thank you, one and all. And with this, we are closing our session. So my message to you all: stay safe, stay healthy, stay immunized. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.